All right. All right, let's see. I think the picture's coming in now. This is them on the moon. And this is the first step onto the moon, boys. Wow, look at that. No strings. All right, let's see. Okay, we're good. Okay, this is take two. So, I didn't have my internet plugged in. The internet isn't so fast here, so I'm going number two now. I'm recording again. Here we go though. I got some stuff for you this week. I got a couple things. I'm in Vietnam right now. This is my new spot. This kind of sucks. This thing is supposed to have like inlet lighting, and it looks like really cool in the pictures, but someone has taken the light out, so I think they're gonna come fix it. But this is gonna look sick once that's in there. So I'm stoked for that. I got okay. So I'm just gonna hit you with my story. We're gonna start off strong. So happy Sunday. Um, so since I'm at the computer all the time, my neck and my back muscles are roasted from my posture. I try to have good posture, but I get these like knots in my neck that pinch the nerves, and then I get all this pain in my head and my ears, and it's just like all sensitive and it hurts so bad. And I gotta like roll it out. So, anyways, it was getting really bad. So I was like, when I get to Vietnam, I'm gonna book a massage. So I did. I booked a massage basically first thing. It's basically $20 for an hour. And I have to walk like 2 minutes down the thing to this place. Well, I go in and first starts embarrassing. So I go, it's a big glass door and it says push, but I pull and there's like these like stone walkway, and the door just slams into the stone, just and I'm like, oh, and the two ladies in there like jump up, oh, and they were on their phone like they're in trouble. Oh, hello, sir. And anyway, so I sit down. They bring me tea and slippers, and they're like, we'll be ready in a minute. And they give me a little sheet to fill out, and it has like, you can mark the areas of the body you want to focus on, and like the pressure level and what to avoid and anything, like any other thing. So I mark head, neck, shoulders, back, but then I also mark hips. And my my plan was to tell her, hey, this is for I marked hips just because lower back, because my lower back is sauced too from sitting in the chair all day. So anyways, they bring me back, and they wash my feet. They give me some shorts to change into, and I lay on the thing. And sure enough, the lady brings me the sheet, and I said, hey, I marked hips, but I just mean lower back. But I think the language barrier, she didn't get it. Maybe she did, I don't know. But okay, so what happens is crazy. So she okay, so the thing, it's kind of like a Thai massage where they like get on the table, right? So she covers me in a blanket, she gets on the table and just starts elbowing my shit up and down my back and legs and everything and roasting me. And I told her go full power. I was like, run it. So anyways, she's doing that, and then she like gets in like straddle position over my thighs, right? So she's like on the table over me, straddling my thighs, and I'm on my stomach, and she pulls the towel over my back, like down over my back and my ass, and then she grabs my shorts and just pulls my pants down to expose my entire bare ass, like, and I'm just like, what? And I don't know. I think I kind of blacked out a little bit, and I'm like, what is happening? And people say, oh, you're getting a massage. Sometimes they like expose the top of your ass a little bit to do your lower back. But this was my full ass, like a full ass out. And I know because like, since I was laying on my stomach, like the waistband, like the only thing keeping the waistband from like coming back over my ass was that it was tucked under my butt cheeks, like at the bottom of my ass. So my full ass is out. And the crazy thing is that she proceeds to give me a double cheek rub and squeeze. Like, yeah, and I'm just like, what is happening? Honking that shit, dude, just going in. And bare ass. I'm like, what the fuck? And maybe that's normal, but in my head, I'm like, what's happening? Should I tell her I don't want her to rub my ass? Or like, what if she spreads my ass? Like, what is happening here? I don't know what to do. And I'm also simultaneously trying to not laugh because I'm picturing it from like a third person perspective of what this looks like. And it was just something. And the thing is too, this was like a 30-year-old chick, right? And she wasn't like hot or anything, but she wasn't ugly. And so it was like made me feel a couple weird things. I was like, what is happening? I've never had my ass rubbed like that in any context ever. So I was just like, what the fuck is happening? And I was embarrassed, and like it was funny, and I was like confused, and I was just like, what's gonna happen? But she ended up just putting my ass away eventually, and then just gave me like a normal massage after that. They do some shit where they bend you around, and it was a great massage. Like she nailed it. But I was just like, what the heck? And after I was done, and she was really nice. She was very sweet, very nice, respectful. Like it was just, I don't know. Maybe that's what you do. I don't know. But I was not prepared mentally for that to happen. God, so weird. And anyways, when I'm done, they give me some more tea and this yogurt with honey. So good. And they gave me a banana. And then I dipped and I questioned my life. So that was that. And that was really weird. It's so crazy. Just wax on, wax off on my butt cheeks. Like so weird. And two, yeah, just giving them a squeeze. I was like, what the fuck? Just never had that. Never had anything like that. But anyways, happy Sunday. We're going to get into some updates, and I have a couple different things I want to watch and talk about today. It might be a longer one, but I got some interesting things here. Okay, so let's go and let's first talk about this. Boop. I recorded my live video. I had 1 day left in Bangkok. It was the last day I was there, and we recorded this, and it went great, and I had a blast. Gig saved the day with the translation because I don't know what the hell was happening. I couldn't talk to these people, but it was super fun. It went really well. I got sent all the files, so I'm going to edit everything and put everything together, but I'm super excited. And I got everyone these shirts, right? These custom shirts, right? Danny Suede Butterfly. It says Smile, Breathe, Let It Go, which is the lyrics of the song, which will be available on DannySuede.com soon. Is when we went to go get these shirts, right? We go to the factory, the printing place, and they sit us down. They show us all the different shirts, the printing methods, and Gigs like translating for me, and the pricing and the different kind of things. And we're deciding, and they're literally putting the design on and showing us and everything. And I got 15 shirts, custom, front and back printed, screen printing. I think it was $120 for all of them. And it was such good service. They were so nice and so kind, and the shirts are freaking nice. And I was like, what is Thailand? This is fire. Like, it was like, so cheap. As far as I'm concerned, like maybe that's expensive. I think it was like insanely cheap for front and back screen printing and 15 shirts. I think maybe it was more than 15 because I got two different ones. But anyways, so that all went good. I'm super excited for that. The other thing I will mention here. Yeah, so I'm in Vietnam, baby. And I would describe it like it's almost like Bali and Bangkok had a baby because it's like a little more third worldy, I would say. A little more, I don't want to say ghetto, but it's seems like a little more ghetto and like a little more chaos and like freestyle. And but still people are very nice, and it's just pretty similar, but cheaper. It's actually cheaper here. I got this new desk, and I got a new chair. Super cheap. Food's been hit or miss. I've had some bangers, I've had some not. But the other thing is, like, if I wasn't solo mode before, I am now. Like, I knew Gig, and I had a couple other friends and acquaintances, and I knew some people in the building, etc. in Bangkok. But here it's just zero. Don't know anyone. Just me. And I just met the guy who lives upstairs above me yesterday. He's from Australia, but just talked to him for a quick second. Yeah, but freaking A, dude. Pretty cool though. It's interesting. Like, so I'll show you this is my room. We'll get to these other updates in a second, but this is my room. This is actually a 2-bedroom, but this is my room, and there's like a little balcony. This is the view from the balcony. Super nice little area. The thing that I'm finding that's interesting is that like it's the 3rd floor, and like you can kind of watch down on the street, and it's like this interesting bird's eye view where no one really knows you're there or notices you. Like, I think people just don't look up that high. So you can kind of watch everything like a bird's eye view. And it's like an interesting vibe. It's like you're just kind of above it all, but it's not like the condo. When I'm up in the condo, it's like so far down. You could see the little people walking around, but it's not like you can't hear them. You can't, it's not as, I could like throw something and just hit someone from the balcony, So it's like this interesting, just watching the neighborhood happen in the little city streets and people walking around. And it's just interesting. The traffic, dude. So this intersection right here is uncontrolled. So I did a little live stream of it today. Like, just get a load of this real quick. This is crazy. I gotta put in a, hold on a sec. I'm gonna put this in here, but doop, boop. So dude, there's no stoplights, no stop sign, no anything. And it's just like chaos. Today wasn't that crazy, but it gets crazy sometimes. So I'll try and find a crazy moment. But yeah, so people just freestyle it, dude. Like, okay, what is happening? Okay. No rules, dude. What are the rules? Just people just go. And man, it's crazy watching people go across this crosswalk like Matrix, dude. They just somehow don't die. Like, they just don't care. It's so weird. Look at this chaos. And this is mild. Like on like yesterday or on Friday, it was freaking crazy, dude. So yeah, that's really interesting too, seeing that. But so far, nice. And then I'm trying to get this fixed. The other thing about the Airbnb is weird is like in the pictures, there's all these little decorations and like little lamps and like little decorations, and there's none when I got here. It was just gutted. So I was like, I messaged the host, and I'm like, dude, this light is gone from the picture. All the decorations are gone. Like, I was like, I booked this place for the vibe. Like, what is the deal? So she said on Monday she'll get it figured out. So I don't know. We'll see what's gonna happen. I'm not sure. It's not the end of the world. I'll go buy a freaking light myself and put it in there, because imagine how cool this will look when it's lit up. Like, just the vibe in here will be sick, which is what I want. It's partially why I booked it. I'm living here for a month. Like, come on. So that was a little frustrating, but you win some, you lose some, and we're not gonna complain too much. Okay, back to the update here. Yeah. Okay, I got this master for my song Sunrise back, so I'm going to be slapping that on the music video and getting that all uploaded and ready to go. I'm freaking stoked. It sounds so nice and magical and like freaking good. I'm stoked. So I love it. That's coming up. Okay. What I'm wondering about this week, not a ton. What is, I don't even know how to say this, a vermicelli. Vermicelli. I don't know what. It turns out it's just noodles. So that's what. What does durian smell like? Okay, so I'm in the airport. This is funny. I'm in the airport in Bangkok. Some dude comes sit next to me and I smell something. I go, whoa, this guy's a stank ass. And then I look and he has a bag of something. I was like, oh, I bet that's durian, because it smelled like a combination of shit and gas. And I'm like, holy fuck. So I Google, I'm like, what does durian smell like? Because it was like this gassy, weird smell. And I'd heard that it smells like crazy. So, but the answers to this were so funny. So I go on Perplexity. What does durian smell like? And these are the answers. Rotting onions, sweaty socks, garbage, raw sewage, and dumpster in July. Satan's asshole. Tropical funk. Custard caramel aromas. Yeah, I don't buy that one. Anyways, that just made me laugh. I was in the airport just laughing about that. That's funny. Okay. Next thing is the feature of swing in music present in Thai music and culture. Because so when I'm doing the recording with these guys, they weren't getting the swing. They were just like playing it straight. Like it was supposed to be a but they're playing like so I'm like, is this just not a thing? Because I would try to get them to groove it. I'm like, groove it, baby, swing that shit deep. But they would kind of get it, and then they would just go back to straight eventually. So that was hard to navigate. I made a couple stems for us to record to, which was like swung, shaker, and percussion and stuff. But it was, I don't know, I'm going to have to go in and quantize it and fix it and make it right. But I already tested a little bit, and it's going to be great, but it's going to sound good. But it was just interesting. I was like, weird, these guys don't really get swing. Like they kind of could get it, but I looked it up, and apparently it's really not a thing in Thai culture or music, really. So unless they're getting it from somewhere else, it's just not a thing in their natural music. So anyways, And then the other thing is how to pay my taxes because it's coming up and I got to figure it out. And I hired Bench to do my return and everything. So they're just going to tell me how much to pay and I have to go pay it. But I got to figure that out because the deadline is in 2 days, or 1 day. Let's see. Okay, this is crazy. This is so funny. One nation under God, a nation under Trump. It's a song and it is freaking hilarious. I'll put the link in the description to this post if you want to go watch it. But dude, I can't believe it's real. Like, it's one of those things where you're like, this has to be satire, but you can tell it's real. And it's just so funny, dude. It's insane. It's insane, dude. The Trump cult. Like, I could get people who like Trump, like what he's about, or support him to a certain degree, right? It's like, I don't necessarily agree, but I can wrap my head around it. But the cult, the like Trump cult people that are like cult Trump, like he's the best, he's Jesus. This is who made this song, and it's just like crazy, dude. It's so funny, so weird. Okay, when you're talking about AI stuff, 2 AI things here. This is an AI video of Luigi Mangione, anti-villain, and this is just the craziest use case of AI video. It's bananas, and it just shows you where we're headed. It just shows you the trajectory of content and AI capabilities as far as video generation goes. Some of it's jank, but some of it's amazing, and it's just going to get better, and it just blew my mind. I watched it today, and it just blew my mind, so that's in this post as well. Link in the description. And then on the AI front, another quick story. I was in the Uber on the way to the airport in Bangkok, and this dude's playing country music. And I was like, this artist sounds like so familiar, but I've never heard this song. And I'm like, what is this? And I was like, and then another song went, and it's same guy. And some of the lyrics were like weirdly recycled. And then I was like, oh, I could tell it was AI because like sometimes there's this weird like timbre in the music that's like this synthetic thing. I can't describe it exactly, but AI music, at least now, still kind of has a sound. It has like a weird sound to it. So I was like, oh, this is freaking AI. And I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, where are you listening to this? Like, what is this on? And it was on YouTube, and it was just country western vibes. And this guy had no idea. And the crazy thing is that it was good. It was like the vocals were good. The song structure was good. It would like have different fills going into the chorus. And like at the last chorus, it would do a drop chorus or would have like an alternate melody, like a normal song, and like very intricate. And it was just good. It was like good bop country music, you know? And I was like, holy shit, this is getting crazy, dog. This is getting crazy because you're seeing it in just the real world, not as a novelty, right? So it's not like, oh, AI music or anything. It's just this dude's just listening to country music, Thai dude in Thailand. No freaking idea. To see the music out in the wild like that was interesting to me. So I was like, damn. And speaking of music, so I joined a gym. There's a gym right basically on the corner. And I went to another gym that was cheaper, but it was closed and getting gutted. And there was one other one that was like a 8-minute walk that had bad reviews. So I went to this one called Private Fitness, and it's so weird because it was expensive. I think it was like $70 for the month. I think it's cheap if you get like a year, and it's mainly for like private training, like personal trainers and stuff. But I was like, can I just come use this stuff? And they're like, yeah. So I did it. But it's weird because there's really not a lot of machines. There's like one of each machine, and there's no one in there really. It's like, but it's super nice like for the area comparatively. So I'm gonna go work out there. It's like on the corner. But anyways, I'm on the treadmill in there, and I hear Charlie Puth. How long has this been going on? You've been singing around on me. That's such a banger. I was like, man, his grooves just like his drums and his little grooves and stuff are just so good. He just kills it. And I was like, dang, I hadn't heard it in a while. Little Bopperson 6. Okay, let's hit this photo dump real quick, baby. I'm blazing through this because I already did it once, so that's kind of annoying. But oh yeah, am I 6 minutes in? No, I'm in further than that. Okay, anyways, last day in the condo, enjoying my view. One last day, and dude, this area up there after the earthquake creaks, dude. You go in there, it's just like, and you just hear the windows and shit creaking. It's so scary. But having my coffee and then getting one last vibe. But I'm stoked to be out of there because I was freaking scared. I already showed you this team. This is Gig translating for me. Major confusion happening right here, but I would have died if she didn't help me. So she's the MVP of that. Already talked about the merch. This is me looking at a sunset. Nice sunset out there. Dude, Thai noodle, so good. Gig orders this and she knows like what to get, and dude, it slaps, dude. You want to get the Thai noodle? Yeah, chai, and so good, dude. Aroy. That means delicious. Aroy maklay means very beyond delicious. I say that so much. But anyways, banger. This is the Bangkok airport, and it's so funny because I was tripping about my baggage and having to pay extra fees and all this, and like I wanted to check my speakers, but they have batteries, so they don't let you check it. So I'm calling to be like, can I please check it, because the batteries are built in and they're powered off in cases. Like, can I check it? And I shit you not, I called Vietnam Airlines 15 times to talk to different people, because some they had bad accents, some were just being mean, and anyways, they eventually said you can check it once I emailed them and stuff. Well, anyways, I get to the airport and I go to check my guitar, and they're like, you could just carry this on with your backpack if you want. And I'm like, but the limit's 10 kilograms. My backpack's 10 kilograms and this guitar is heavy. And they said they're super careful about the weight. Like, they'll weigh your shit and roast you. If it's overweight, they just won't let you carry it on. But he's like, no, it's fine. I'll call him. It's fine. So it ended up being fine. And I only had to pay for one check bag. So it was such a nightmare, but it ended up being cheaper than I thought. And they didn't actually care about the weight. So I was like, what the heck, dude? This is my new room here. Really nice spot, actually. Like, this is a nice place. Very high ceiling, good, a ton of rooms, high quality, nice area. The thing that's weird is all the stuff's gone out of it. So that was kind of weird, but whatever. This is the view from the balcony. I already showed you that. This is my little cloud guy, which I'm thinking about doing an animated AI music video in the future. And I want to have little like kid version of me and him, and we're buddies. We'll see what happens though. Okay, there's a couple other things. Oh, I totally forgot this. Good thing I had to redo it because I forgot this freaking hilarious story. Okay, so one other funny story for you, baby. Here we go. This is so funny. So, okay, the day before my live recording, I was getting kind of stressed because I'm nervous, spending money on it. I'm trying to practice a lot, and I'm just nervous. And I've been sleeping like shit, and everything was getting out of whack. I wasn't working out every day. I was doing every other day. And I was just, when you're feeling really stressed and like you're just tripping. So that's how I was feeling. So I had a super stressful day, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go in the steam room and just decompress, and before I go to bed, and take a cold shower and go to the pool and everything, and just calm down and get a good night's sleep. So, and by the time I get in the steam room, I'm like pent up. I'm like, and I'm like, hey, I just need to relax. So I literally get the steam room going, and I go to sit down. In my head, I'm like, hey, all day I was pissed and tripping, and I'm like, this moment, I'm like, okay, I'm going to relax now. I sit down, I sit down in the steam room. Well, I wasn't paying attention. And I have the steam room in the dark, right? There's like a little inlet lighting, but it's in the dark. Wasn't paying that much attention. I lean back to relax. Guess what's right behind me? The emergency button. And I'm telling you, bro, the fucking emergency lights and sirens, dude, the whole freaking thing, red lights. Where? And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, trying to pull the button. And my heart, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh, fuck. And it's so loud. And I'm thinking the alarm went off in the whole area. Red lights, from. Oh, shit. And then it just turned off. And I sat sitting there, holy shit. And I was waiting for someone to come, but no one ever came. And it didn't even turn off the steam room. I don't know what the fuck, but did I shit my pants? Yes, I did. But I finally relaxed after that. But fucking A, dude. It was just funny because like just the timing of it where I'm like, finally, I'm going to relax. And then just the ultimate stress ensued. So that was funny. Another thing on a personal level, I wrote a bunch of like goals of things I wanted to like achieve or like finish or get done in Bangkok. And I fell short bad. And I feel kind of discouraged about it, if I'm being honest. Things just didn't necessarily go to plan. Different things came up and didn't get finished, and I had to pivot and blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't bad. And I worked hard the whole time, but I just misjudged it. And it was kind of a bummer. So I'm going to try to really reset and lock in while I'm here and just run it, get a bunch of that shit done. So it was kind of a bummer. productivity wise, but it is what it is. I got that live video under the books, so I kind of focused on that, and it's gonna be okay. I got my music video finished, all that, so that's at least good. Okay. Two things we'll end off with, and they're both videos that I want to share and talk about because there's some really interesting stuff happening in them. Okay, first one. Here we go. Hold on.
Countries, anything that is not under maintenance is because, you know, we don't care.
No, you care. It's not in the concept. Travel the 54 countries in Africa. Ask each person in every country, what is wrong with your country? Leadership. Leadership. All of you say the same word. So let me ask you, since 1960, the country has been picking the wrong leader every 4 years. Not a single railway built by the British is in Nigeria today. But the one they built in their country that same year, it's still running. Not a single railway built in Ghana in 1960 is still there today. What do you know in that country that has been properly maintained by the people every day and it works perfectly?
It's hard for people to maintain things when they're not gaining a lot.
No. It's hard for people to maintain things when they don't have the concept of maintenance in their culture. What is the one word in Igbo for maintenance?
Maintenance? There's no direct English word for that. It doesn't translate directly to maintenance.
That's correct. How about you?
It doesn't translate.
That's correct.
But it translates to like take care of.
No, that's not maintenance. What is the one word for repair in Igbo?
Imezi.
Exactly. What is the one word for repair in... You see, I'm driving you to somewhere. What is the one word for democracy in Igbo language? You don't. How about you? You don't. You're trying to practice something that is not in the concept of the language. There is no African country, and I've done it through Kenya, I've done it all, that has an equivalent of the word maintenance.
Well, in order to maintain something, you have to have it first. Correct?
No, if I leave it for you, you can maintain it. The British left a lot of things in this country when they left. They established the hospitals, they established the fire station, the post offices, the railway lines, the roads they built before they left. You are not able to maintain it because you don't have that concept. Well, because your environment, the tropical environment of Africa, the way you build your houses, the material you use, you don't require maintenance. Every country that is called industrialized countries, today, one of the things you know about them is maintenance of what they have. That's why we have buildings here that are about 250 years old, 300 years old in this country. There are buildings in other countries of Europe that are 700 years ago. The Notre Dame that burned in...
Okay, you get the picture. So a couple things here that I was thinking of that are interesting. I'm not sure like the validity of what this guy's saying or like the accuracy or like how widespread that idea is or how much that has an effect, maintenance being in the culture or not, but there's a couple interesting things. I was talking to the dude Josh here about Thailand, or when I was in Thailand, and he was saying like that I think there really is something to do with the tropical environment where there's no seasons really. There's 2 seasons in Thailand, but it's like he's talking about how, you know, you could just go over, kick a tree and get a piece of food out, right? In a lot of places. And so that's fundamentally different than places that have cold weather. And I've heard this theory before of why the West colonized everywhere and was like more advanced and would just go and just take over places because they had winters. This was at least the theory. I don't know if it's true, but they had winters, so everyone's stuck inside and they're freaking reading and writing and like intellectualizing everything and like planning and like it just, like this dude's saying, it just creates such a different culture than when it's just sunny and warm all the time and you can just chill and there's fruit in the trees and whatever. You don't have to worry about harvest or like you don't necessarily have to worry that much about harvest or food or planning like you would in places where it's going to freeze and you better have your shit stored up. And just these different cultural differences. It's just interesting to think of that. And then the thing it made me wonder though, this video, the thing that stuck out to me is I think what is like that in English and what is like that for me where it's just missing, and I'm missing a concept in my life and in general in America or in English where a concept just doesn't exist because the language doesn't have it. What comes to mind is like in Japan, I know they have this thing called a word, I think it's like ikage or ikigai or something. And it's like when what you love, what you're good at, and what the world needs all align, right? And that's like your purpose or ikage or whatever. I don't know exactly if that's the right word, but that's an interesting concept we don't have in America. We don't think of it like, we don't think of something like that. necessarily, like having a word for that. And then the other thing they have that I know is like wabi sabi, I think, which is like when things break, you fix them and it's more beautiful fixed. And they would like, you see the image of the bowl, like ceramic bowl that's broken, and then they fix it with gold in the cracks, right? So it's like a new bowl with golden cracks in it. And it's more beautiful that way. And it's like this thing about the beauty of repairing things and the importance of repairing things that's just embedded in the culture, which is cool, which we don't have in America. Something breaks, chuck it to a certain degree. But I think I'm going to do a blog post and look into that. Like, what do other cultures and languages have that English in the West misses that is maybe valuable or interesting, and try to learn those, because who knows what we're missing, you know? Just an interesting concept that I've been thinking about a lot when I saw that. And then, okay, the other thing, we'll get into another video. This is a little longer, but this is a twofer. There's two really interesting things happening here. So this is the Mel Robbins podcast, and this is Gabor Mate on there, which I've seen him before. But he walks her through this traumatic experience she had, and the points he makes are very interesting. I don't want to lose sight of the overarching points, but there's something specific in it that happens that I noticed that is interesting to me that I've been thinking about a lot. So here we go. Switching over. Run it.
Oh, I'll share it with you. When I was in the 4th grade, I woke up in the middle of the night on a family vacation, and an older kid was on top of me.
Okay. All right.
And that had massive implications on my life.
In what way?
I was 4th grade,
Yeah.
and I was sound asleep, so I was in a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up to an older kid on top of me who was fondling me.
Okay.
And in the scheme of things that can happen, it was, here I go to dismissing it. You're looking at me, you're like, no.
Don't go there.
Okay. But it's almost like I'm shaming myself
Yeah, you
for
are.
having trauma about this.
No, can I unpack this for you a little bit?
Sure.
Are you open to it?
Oh, I'm so open to it. Yeah.
Okay. Here's the question I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
How did you feel when this happened?
I felt very confused
Okay.
and scared.
Confused and scared. Good enough. Who did you speak to about it?
No one.
Okay. Now, if something like this happened to one of your daughters was it grade 4?
Yeah.
Okay. If one of these things happened to Sawyer or Kendall in grade 4, and if they didn't talk to you, how would you explain that?
I'd feel, how would I explain it? I would explain it, and I'm about to go intellectual. I personally, as the mother, would feel heartbroken.
I understand how you'd feel, but really I'm not asking
But-
how you'd feel.
okay, so
I'm asking how you'd explain it. Why wasn't my daughter talking to me about feeling scared and confused and violated? Why
Because she didn't feel safe talking to me.
That's the trauma.
Bam.
The trauma began before that happened. Because if you had been able to talk to your parents and they would have said, this is awful, you must feel terrible, come here, let me hold you, and let's deal with the situation. So the trauma is not only in what happened, it's that you were so alone when it happened. And that aloneness was yours before this traumatic event ever occurred. As a matter of fact, abusers can tell with almost laser-like accuracy who's defended and protected and who's not, who can be victimized and who cannot. So that your primary traumatic event was not this event. Not that this wasn't traumatic. Of course it was hugely traumatic, but it became hugely traumatic because you were alone.
Okay, that's crazy, man. The way he flips that is surprising and crazy. And I think it's just crazy to think about that. I'd never heard a perspective like that. And it's just interesting. So I think that in itself is really interesting and important, and meaningful, a meaningful clip. And this is less important, but this is the thing, because I was talking to this dude about the differences of men and women, right? And he was saying how he's like, women are just pure emotional. It's like they do not think, they do not have logic, they do not use logic, they're just freaking emotional purely. And I was like, all of them, like really all the time? I was like, I don't know. Which I still don't agree with that. But this is so crazy because I'm going to run this back a little bit. The thing about Mel Robbins is that she's a gangster. She is a lawyer. She's an extremely successful businesswoman. She's a smart lady. She has a successful podcast. She's not like just a run of the mill, never did anything type of woman. She's a smart, successful woman, right? So this is what's so crazy. Okay, watch this. So here we're going to go back a little bit to 57. Or no. I think it's 58. Here we go. Okay, ready?
How would I explain it? I would explain it.
So he asks her, if that happened to your daughters and they didn't come to you, how would you explain it? He's asking for a reason, like a logical reason why, if this happened to your daughters and they didn't come to you, why? Watch what she says. Okay, ready? Watch.
And I'm about to go intellectual.
She says, I'm about to go intellectual. Ready? Here we go.
Personally, as the mother, would feel heartbroken.
I would feel heartbroken. He asks for explanation, and she immediately says, I would feel heartbroken, right? Just goes right to how she feels. And then watch him say,
I understand how you'd feel, but really I'm not asking how you'd feel.
Okay, so
I'm asking how you'd explain it. Why it wasn't my daughter talking to me?
okay, so then she continues on to explain it. But it's that, if that isn't the perfect microcosm and like example of the difference of men and women, I'm not saying men don't do that either, right? It's like obviously gradations, but it's like so telling, and it's just so interesting. I'm just like, that is it. Like, and it is so interesting how women are so wired on emotion. Like, how does something feel? What does it make you feel? What is the feeling? And how that overrides a like critical analysis of anything a lot of the times in the moment, especially if someone is feeling a lot. And it just, man, I just saw that and I went, that's crazy. Because she literally is like, he's like, how do you explain it? She's like, okay, I'm going to go intellectual. I would feel heartbroken. And I just think, wow, biology is something just funny. Not to be, I don't mean that as like to be an asshole or anything, but I do think it's just telling. It's just interesting and telling. And I think, because I think so much of issues that happens with couples and between men and women is this difference, right? Where women are just, they want the vibe, they want the feels, they want to feel a certain way, they feel a certain way, they want to felt heard or supported or whatever, and dudes just want to like do the math of the problem, be like, hey, what's wrong, here's what we need to do and why, which is how I am 1,000,000%. And that difference, and I think that's why men and women complement each other well too, make good teams and stuff. But it's just interesting to see that. I just think it's funny. Got him. Okay, so now I think that's all I got. Let me go back here and make sure I covered everything I wanted to talk about, since I had to record this twice. Yep, that's it. What was that? I don't know what that was. Okay, anyways, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to my weekly updates, you can subscribe here on YouTube, or there's a link in the description for my Substack where there's a written version of the post with all the links and the photos and everything. It's free to subscribe. You just put in your email, you get it in your inbox each week. If you want to dive more into my world, I'm an artist and a musician. If you go to DannySwade.com, you can find my music, you can find my blog and my Substack, you can find my YouTube and my store. Excuse me. My merch, I got merch on there. I got necklaces. I got hats. I got all kinds of merch and shirts and stuff, and I'm making new stuff all the time. So DannySwade.com if you want to check it out. I do this every week and I publish it. My blog goes out in the morning on Sunday, generally, and then it's nighttime here, but I think it's like the middle of the night in the West, but this is what works for me. So anyways, I do this weekly. And that's everything. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week. Woo. Peace.